Ladies and gentlemen, it's me, the Mulletman, Travis Hinton. You're watching Five Star Takes, and I'm here to show you what Mullet Mania is all about. Be sure to tune in now on YouTube.
Saturday, 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 Saturday.
Holy
Saturday's
shit.
all
I woke
right
up.
for podcast. Oh my God, you're up. You're awake.
Oh, I woke up, guys. Holy shit.
What's it been? What, like a
I don't
week and
know.
a half or something?
Fucking Rip Van Winkle.
No, who the fuck I was gonna say? Rip Van Winkle. I was gonna ask, who the fuck do you think you are? Sleeping Ugly?
Hey now. Hey, that's so mean.
Okay, Sleeping Beauty.
Well, thank you. Sleeping at least like moderately attractive, okay?
We'll go with that. Sleeping modestly attractive. Okay.
All right, we'll do it. Yeah, I'll take it.
So
I slept right through that last episode. I woke up at 11 and I was like, shit, I'm gonna make it. And then I woke up at 2 a.m. and I said, fuck, I missed it.
Yeah, we held down the fort for you and stuff. So
and Shane's balls deep in Chili right now, unfortunately. But if you're in the greater Columbus, Ohio area and you're looking for a hardworking, motivated, intelligent man with a one of a kind mustache, let us know. Email us at or just message us on Facebook. Let's get this man a new job.
Yeah, let's get this man a new job. And I mean, he's the only mustachioed guy I know that was ever labeled, I believe, by Christopher Daniels as like, what was it, creepy or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. I've got it somewhere. I got the Christopher Daniels one on the Such Good Shoot website. I'm sure YouTube. I'm sure
I think I've said this in the past before. I think that. And then the Nick Gage one where he cut that promo on you. I think those are my two favorites that you got.
Those are good ones. My ultimate favorite is still Vince Russo. Because he goes, Isaac, I'm cutting a promo on you. And then he never cuts a promo. He never says anything else. It's really funny.
Did not even a bro?
Oh, there was some bros, but he never cut a promo. He just yeah, I love this show. Let's go. It's like, all right, Vince.
Well, speaking of let's go, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. Let's do it. Rocks, dude. So hard.
That theme music is the right, kind of. I think it's like, what was that? What was it that Hulk Hogan used to say? I think it was Riker or something, like anything less would be too dignified or undignified.
I never listened to that, man. Hulk Hogan.
That commercial he did, because he did a Right Guard commercial, I think. Like
anything less would be undignified.
But you know what, though? I mean, that's the right kind of, we like to bring a certain kind of special kind of dignified,
ambiance.
But at the same time, I like that dignified ambiance and just the kind of perfect blend of dignified ambiance and just, you know what? Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go for some dignified ambiance, bitch.
There we go. I like that. Well done.
Light the candles and fucking light the blunts. Let's fucking go.
Well, that may be that ain't my thing, but you know what?
Hey, man, not yet. You're still time, man.
Nope. My only vice with that kind of stuff is I like to occasionally have a beer or something. Which, by the way, right as we're recording this, I've got 2 beers in my little freezer right to my right. So
Oh,
I'm
cracky. All right.
gonna crack one open here in a little bit, and I got a special koozie I'm gonna put it in that I have not used yet. So
All right. Well, when we end up hanging out, man, you're gonna rip my key fob. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna eat fucking all the pizza. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, dude, I'm down with eating pizza, man.
I know nothing makes eating pizza better though than a little
not my thing. It's not my thing.
We'll get there. We'll get you there.
Eating pizza is my thing, as you can tell. But speaking of which, I think that's what I'm going to put on put in for dinner, because I got the house to myself right now, and I think after once we're done with this, I think I've got a frozen pizza in the freezer calling my name. So
hell yeah, there you go. What's your go-to frozen pizza?
For the longest time, it used to be Tombstone.
Yeah.
And and I mean, I still do Tombstone every once in a while, but lately I've really been getting in. I don't know if you'll know this brand, because I think it's kind of more based out of my area, the Chicago,
a little more regional.
Area. Yeah, there's actually a couple that I kind of go in between and stuff, but right now, the one that I've been kind of wanting hasn't, and nowhere place where I usually get them from hasn't had them on sale. But I've been getting into Home Run Inn.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Okay,
that's based out of Chicago, and then also Connie's Frozen Pizza, which is also and stuff. So, but it used to be Tombstone and stuff. But yeah, it's what about you? What's your go-to?
There's a regional one around here, Cape Cod Cafe. They make a really good like pub pizza. Like thin crust, smaller, smash it to yourself basically.
Yeah.
I really like the fucking I think it's one of the DiGiorno stuffed crusts when I'm just really baked.
Ooh, DiGiorno's, that's good. Yeah,
they got that cheese stuffed crust, and that hits pretty hard with some ranch.
It's it's funny that you mentioned stuffed crust, because one of the pizzas that I have in the freezer, and I think this is the one I'm leaning towards, is a stuffed crust.
That's what you're smashing for sure, dude.
You bringing that up, I think that sealed the deal.
That's destiny right there. Goddamn.
Yeah.
I just had fish and chips down at the restaurant down the hill, and fucking then walked up the mountain.
So as many of you know, we were hoping to possibly record that. We're recording on I guess you could say Saturday night and stuff. We were hoping to record last night, but Isaac's had been experiencing some not so pleasant weather out by where he's at.
It was crazy. I lost all internet access and my power, so I didn't have my computer or internet. So I was like, I guess I'm not doing the show that night. But here we are, a day later, resilient, strong, bounce back.
We aim to please our fans.
Yeah,
and our 7 subscribers that have subscribed to us on YouTube. Thank you to those who have subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please take a minute to go like and subscribe our page, our YouTube page at www.youtube.com/@5startakes, and ring that bell and subscribe. Like I said, you can know whenever we put new episodes out. We really appreciate it. But we're gonna start off with a bit of a somber note. Get the sad stuff out of the way.
Yes.
We just, if you haven't heard by now, and it really broke yesterday morning, that someone who I feel like really doesn't get a lot of credit for, I think, his contributions to the business and the mind that he has for the business. And we're gonna obviously kind of delve into probably why a little bit with this and stuff, because I've been thinking about this a lot. Like, I feel like this guy didn't get a lot of credit for, or he's underrated in terms of his mind for the business stuff. And just in case you haven't heard, we lost Kevin Sullivan yesterday morning. I think he was in his 70s. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like 75 or something, I
remember somewhere in that range.
But this guy, and I think I was talking, I think I might have mentioned this to you guys. I know I mentioned in a couple other chats, the guys, Shootin Sh, which go if you haven't already done so, please watch their newest episode, and you can listen to Jovan talk about his adventures in Cleveland for SummerSlam last weekend. And I actually talked to Jovan on the phone earlier today and kind of got a little bit of a firsthand account of some of that stuff. And but yeah, go give them a watch. We love those guys. You know, we're all in this thing together and stuff. But yeah, he passed away. Been dealing with some health issues lately, and it's just this was one of the guys that when I first started watching wrestling, late 1990, early 1991, when I flipped on, I think it was Channel 9, you know, WGN, and came across, I think it was like WCW Pro or the Power Hour or something. And I see this guy with like wild blonde hair come in the ring. His face is all painted, looking scary as hell. And behind him, he's got a chain, a dog collar, chain attached to a dog collar, attached to this 400-pound guy with even wilder hair in his face paint, the one-man gang. And I just remember seeing Kevin Sullivan the first time I saw him on the screen with the one-man gang, and I'm like, dude, this guy scares me.
Yeah, he's a scary dude, man.
And I mean, you think about, and then
I think
like,
that crossed over, and I think that was one of the things is like, you know, you talk about him being underrated and sort of looked over, and I think he's one of those guys that blended the reality with the gimmick so much that, you know, he was a good dude, he was a nice guy, but I think everyone just bought into it so much that they just assumed he was a fucking psycho.
Well, this is when I first got into wrestling. I thought that I admit, I'm gonna admit, when I first got into wrestling, I thought all these characters were real. Like these were just real people and stuff, you know. And I mean, that's who I thought he was. But then I mean, kind of as I understood the business more and got into it more and kind of started looking back into history and realized that what I saw that scared me pretty much paled in comparison to some of the stuff that he did back in, I think it was like the late 70s, early 80s down in Florida with like Dusty Rhodes and, you know, all the people he was involved with, like, you know, where everybody thought like he was like a devil worshiper and just, and it's just, yeah. But I mean, but you think about all of that, like you think about how, again, we talk about how underrated and underappreciated he is. He was one of those real behind the scenes guys that, you know, during the early stages, you know, in the whole Monday Night Wars thing, that really was a driving force, because I mean, he was one of the bookers. He was one of the ones doing these storylines and stuff. And it's just, I mean, he's just as much excuse me. I think he's just as much a part of the reason why they, you know, beat, you know, WWE 83 weeks in a row. And I mean, you think about the stuff, you know, the Dungeon of Doom, you know, while as hokey as it was, I mean, it was still something different. And then obviously talk about blending the reality and what you know wasn't real became real with the stuff that, you know, that when he had his thing with Chris Benoit. And obviously you don't want to say a lot too much about it because there's, you know, theories out there.
Well, and I think that's, you know, I mean, I think we have to mention it because I think one of the reasons he's so underrated and so overlooked is because he's always going to be associated with Chris Benoit. He's always going to be associated with the tragedy because of all the storyline shit that went on. Even though to, you know, insinuate or even speculate that he was somehow involved is fucking crazy.
Right.
I mean, it's nuts, you know, like we know it happened and it's a fucking tragedy. And to try and, you know, like drag him into that is, you know, a tragedy into itself, because I'm sure it was hard enough for him without being fucking implicated somehow in insanity. But I think part of it is his legacy is so closely tied to Chris Benoit. It's really hard to talk about a major part of his career without that aspect in it, and it leaves you saying basically like, you know, like so much of Kurt Angle's career is defined by Chris Benoit, and they can't talk about it. Like they refuse to talk about it.
And you think about and you also think about, you know, with the whole Chris Benoit thing, one of the greatest moments endings to a WrestleMania ever. He's linked to that, and they don't mention any. And it's a shame because I mean, you go back and watch that like on Peacock or if you have the DVD or whatever. That ending was just absolutely amazing and should be talked about more, but it can't because of and it's a shame. But
and I mean, Kurt Angle had his best matches against him, and you can't talk about like it's in WWE, you just can't talk about him.
And but I mean,
and I think it damages Sully's, Kevin Sullivan's career because of that.
And you think about and some of the best stuff I remember seeing that also doesn't get talked about in WCW were the Sullivan Benoit matches because you think about I think it was the 1996 Great American Bash where they had a false count anywhere match where they ended up I think it was in the women's restroom or something. And it's like some of the best commentary I think Dusty Rhodes ever had and stuff, because and you think about guys that Kevin Sullivan associated. I mentioned Dusty Rhodes, the one man gang, the Dungeon of Doom. I mean, he was one of the first guys that was associated with Paul White when he broke into the business. I mean, his stuff he had, the on again off again alliance with the Four Horsemen. I mean, there's just so many guys that he was really associated with, and it's just, and then the Varsity Club. I mean, him, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Rick Steiner, Mike Rotunda, and all
and
that,
all the behind the scenes work. Like there was he brought so much to the business everywhere he was, and in every. Oh, see, now I can't do Pixar. It never happened.
Yeah, I know, but I just felt like I needed to share this. And look
look at you, man.
Yeah, look at how skinny and young I was.
Good, man.
I was that was 2010. So this was about 14 years ago.
14 years ago. God damn.
And stuff. But yeah, I just, think about, and it's just it's sad when we lose someone from our childhood and it's just everything that I've seen people saying on X about him. What I listening to Busted Open Radio on my way into work, and while catching some of the replay after work, and just listening to all the people talking about him and just how good of a guy he seemed, and just how giving to, how much he was willing to teach and everything. And it's just, it stinks, but I mean, I always think about these, he's, if they're in bad health, you're not suffering anymore. You can be yourself again. And it's just, and I'm sure he's probably gracing some kind of hell up in that, that ring in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I also, I'm grateful because there's so many guys from his generation and the next who didn't get to live a full life like that.
Yeah.
Usually when we talk about a lot of these, it's, it's not as bad as it once was, but, luckily people have smartened up, but, there's a nice, a real long history, let's say, of wrestlers dying way too young. And so, I'm grateful that he could, live into his 70s.
Yeah.
After going through, because he beat the shit out of himself too.
And that's one of the good things that I really am appreciative and happy for the business now, is because we don't seem to be seeing as much of that, these guys dying too young, because the companies are taking better care of their talents. The talents are taking better care of themselves for the most part.
Yeah.
And all of the, advances in, care and medicine and everything.
Just what you're not allowed to do and this, like that. I mean, the unprotected headshots make a huge difference.
Right.
Like going out there and getting hit in the head with a steel chair every night for fucking 300 days a year is not good for you, it turns out. And using painkillers to fucking deal with it is not good for you, it turns out. So
no, it's not stuff. So, but yeah, from two fans of wrestling, Kevin, thank you for everything you did for the business, and rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in power, buddy.
So, all right, so let's get on to the good stuff here. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about SummerSlam and our thoughts and takes on everything that happened last week, and we're going to give everyone an update on our little premium live event predictions contest. We're going to show the updated scoreboard here shortly, but before we do that, that wasn't the only wrestling that was going on last Saturday, Isaac. Am I correct?
Turmoil in Lamoille, my friend. Turmoil in Lamoille. Green Mountain Wrestling event. There was a fundraiser for like a local fairground. Green Mountain Wrestling put on a show, and fucking right off the bat, first match, tag team match with fucking our very good friend Mulletman and his tag team partner Jobs. And yeah, you can put this up right now, and I'll fucking I'll press play because you can see me in the crowd going ape shit, and they call me a Mulletman cosplayer.
Yeah, guys, check this out here.
Are we good? Let's go.
They come back, but their attitude wasn't great. So management said, all right, you want to come back? Fine. But you want to act like that? We're going to put you up against the best we've got.
The best we've got. Oh, hell yeah. That's right. It's Mulletman.
Don't forget to check out our interview with Mulletman from a couple episodes ago.
Oh, it's a good one for sure.
Jobs and Mulletman.
Okay, guys, watch this.
There we am. Here I am.
Jobs wearing some incredible eyewear.
Oh, yeah.
Mulletman has a cosplayer in the crowd.
That's me, baby.
That's pretty cool.
We love Mulletman.
Mulletman and
We
Jobs,
do.
the ultimate
He's a good guy and stuff. So,
oh yeah, and Jobs,
but,
when he's his tag team partner, we like Jobs, but when he's fighting against my man, fuck that guy. We're 100% mullet maniacs in this.
We are all three of us are and stuff.
And Travis said, "What's up?" Mulletman said, "What's up?" to the crew. We talked for a minute after the show, and yeah, we're looking forward to a couple more shows. We actually have 2 shows coming up with those guys. One in Barton and one in Barrie. With fucking the octopus, fucking Gresham is going to be there.
Oh, Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and hit at least one of those.
Have him bring my 4X shirt so I can get you the money. Get to him because I got to rock.
Oh man, I hit him up, dude, and he's getting them made for us. And I think I'm going to try and get some autoed 8x10s too, if I can, for everybody. Sweet. So we'll see, but we're gonna get some from fucking limited edition Mullet Mania gear for us, the crew. So yeah, yep. Big fans. Mullet Man is that dude. Big fan of his. So
yeah,
check him out. Check out our interview. Check out Green Mountain Wrestling, and ETWA Wrestling because they're fun, independent. Really independent, crazy, weird independent, good way. So,
but like we always talk about on the show, it's just independent wrestling is just really awesome to go to because I mean, granted, we love WWE and to a certain extent AEW, but I mean, it's just they don't have that intimacy like independent shows do.
Yeah, no, it's hard to because you have such big crowds. But like if you have a crowd, I mean, like. That show was like 50-some people there. It was a fucking hot ass day, and like I was loud as hell. I was having a great time, but like I know it makes a difference for them. But I don't know. I have fun. There's something about going and watching it live that's so much better.
So I got to ask you this: you had your little guy with you, right?
Yeah, he didn't have fun this time. He had fun at the last ones we went to, but he was bored at this one. He said. I think it's because they didn't have they had one lucha guy in a lucha mask, but I think there was not a lot of as much high flying as he would have liked. But it is what it is,
Right.
He goes in waves with things he likes and doesn't like. I'm sure it wouldn't take much to get him back in.
Yeah, and my kid's the same way. He has his things that he's into, and then just he has his toys that he'll be all about for about a week, and then they sit there for months. And then when my wife goes to throw it out because it's just been sitting there, he just all of a sudden starts playing with it again and stuff.
Yep.
And so before we go into SummerSlam here, I kind of want to if you don't mind me here, I want to share a proud dad moment that I experienced
Let's
earlier
go,
today.
man.
So a little bit of a peek behind the curtain for those of you who watch, follow the show, and again, thank you. Pretty much, you all know I am the father of an awesome 9-year-old boy, and sometimes, we as dads, we question ourselves, like, how are we doing with the kids? Like, how good a parent are we being? What are we doing right by our kids? Are we teaching them the right things? Are we, shaping them up to go out in the world and do great things? And there are a lot of times, and I think I've expressed this with you and Shane and the guys that Shootin Shit and my other friends, that sometimes I question myself, and uh, today is one of those days where I was real, I thought to myself, you know what, I am doing a good job. So I took my son to his swim class earlier today because my wife's is out for the day with one of her best friends and stuff. So after swim, my son was like, "Hey, will you take me to the park?" So I'm like, "Yeah." So we go back to grandma's house to drop off his swim stuff. He wants to pick up a couple of his his tractor toys, to play in the sand, and then he wants to bring his scooter to ride around the park. So we go load everything up, get to the park, and not long after he sits down and starts playing, a little boy comes over and say, "Hey, can I play with you?" And my son's like, "Yeah, sure." So Matthew played with this little boy. I think his name was Nicholas, if I remember correctly. He's a couple years younger than my son, and they played through it basically almost the whole time, my son was there. And, a little bit later, we're playing and hear the ice cream, the ice cream truck coming by. I don't carry cash on me hardly anymore. And my son wanted an ice cream. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, buddy, I don't have any cash on me." So all of a sudden this guy comes over to me, and it turns out it was this boy that my son was playing with his uncle, and said, "Your son has, been playing with my nephew the whole time, and just was impressed with how polite and how nice he was and stuff." And he offered to buy my son, something from the ice cream man. He asked for my permission first, and I said thank you. And I was very moved by that gesture. But it's just when you kind of get that total stranger that comes over and just can't, is so just like, it's like you're how it just impressed at how well behaved and polite your kids are. It's one of those moments where, you know what, I am doing a good job, and it just
Oh, hell yeah,
it made,
you are.
made me so happy. I looked at my son and I thought, I'm like, I'm so proud of that boy.
Yeah. Those are good moments, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah,
We were watching some, I think it was some Looney Tunes yesterday, my son
nice.
and I. I had one of
Yeah.
those moments too, and something happens, and I hear him start cackling, and he's laughing. He goes, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "That's my boy. That's my boy."
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
man, yeah, Looney Tunes. That's some good. Okay, since you brought it up, favorite Looney Tunes character.
my favorite Looney Tunes character. Ooh, man, that's a tough one. I was always a big fan of the fucking not Wile E. Coyote, but the other coyote who
Oh
with the
God, the
and the
wolf.
sheepdog.
The wolf. I can't. I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah,
Sam.
yeah.
Sam the wolf or something. Because
Sammy Wolf or
it was like,
something like
yeah, it
that.
was like Ralph was the sheepdog, I think.
Yeah, I always fucking loved those because they would always get to the point where he's about to kill him, and then they would just punch out
Yep,
and then
yep.
go home.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
such a
it was
good
like a
gag.
job, and stuff.
Yeah,
You meant
yeah,
you
very
mentioned
good.
you mentioned Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. I love those
They were
cartoons,
great too.
and I'm gonna be honest with you right now. This is a little bit of a 5-star take here of and stuff. Roadrunner was a bit of an asshole in my opinion. I think he provoked the coyote a lot of the time.
Well, he was kind of a dick, but Coyote did keep trying to eat him.
You know what though? But it's kind of the same way. I always think that Jerry was a bit of an asshole too, because I think he provoked Tom quite a bit more.
Oh,
So
Jerry definitely had it coming a lot of times, but
yeah,
I always was a big fan of Bugs Bunny too. Bugs was
yeah.
great. Bugs is a
So
great character. Mel Blanc fucking nailed it with that one.
yes.
Yeah, there was some good ones, man. Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies as a kid, always like Saturday morning early. That shit came on.
Yep.
There's something about that as a kid that fucking just hit different, man. Saturday morning cartoons used to fucking slap, bro. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids these days, they don't know what they're missing with the fucking Saturday morning cartoons.
God, I miss Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. So,
Yep.
I got the Coors Light. It's my first one's cold, and you can see I've got my
Oh, you get your opening.
my opening day koozie that I got from when I went up to American Family Field with my nephew for opening day and stuff.
Nice.
So it's the first time I've used this. So
The bullet, man. You gotta keep that bullet cold.
yep, when that
Oh,
mountain's
yeah.
blue. Oh
When
God,
the
that's
mountain's
good.
blue. Yeah.
That's
oh,
good
man.
and stuff. So, but so going into we're gonna go shift into our SummerSlam talk and
Let's
that.
talk SummerSlam, dude.
It was a really damn good show. I want to
Yeah.
I
There's a
want to
lot
give
of
it
people who talk shit about it, and I was like, "What show are you watching?" That shit
right.
held my attention for 4 hours.
Yeah, and I want to give a special shout out to Rocket Pro Wrestling owner Bill Shelley and his wife Michelle, who's referred to as Shelly. She's one of the lead commentators there along with my friend Steve Harrett. I got invited over to their house to watch the show with some of the people that are involved with the company. And a couple of my friends, kind of got me in and stuff. My friends Joey Roth and Roxy Hart, love those guys and stuff. But these guys, Bill and Michelle, are two of the nicest people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and we're so accommodating. I mean, they had tons of food, tons of desserts. It was a great time. So I wanted to thank them for allowing me to kind of come over there and hang out and watch the show. So I wasn't stuck watching it home alone, which for the record, I don't mind, but it's always fun watching wrestling with other people.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that's so so the show kicked off with Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, and it was what I thought it would be, but the thing that came out of that match was as if the hate for Dominic Mysterio couldn't get any worse, and somehow they found a way to do it.
Well, that's the thing is I saw one post that summed it up, but like, I mean, I said it right after. I was like, Jesus Christ, like Dom is got nuclear heat, but someone's like, they took a heel and turned him more heel.
And that's basically what happened. Yeah.
And they did it perfectly because that was the thing is like he was getting over and they were like, no, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't. He's better as a heel and he's such a good heel. I mean,
he really is.
The most incredible what do you come from behind? I mean, Miz is one of those guys where it's like another one where you're like, holy shit, I would have, like I never expected this kind of talent from this guy. Everyone had written Dom off. Everyone had written this guy off, and then his fucking turn with Mommy. I mean, Christ Almighty, like incredible stuff.
Really
like the most meteoric rise, and then to take that heat where like he couldn't even talk, man. I remember like when at his peak, like he would pick up a microphone and you couldn't hear a goddamn thing. And now to take that somehow and turn it up even hotter, chef kiss, beautiful. And I don't give a fuck what Meltzer says. If it's a fucking, it's an angles show. They were great angles. All right. They've been building this and they're pulling it off. Okay. The match was fine. The match was good. I got it wrong, of course, because I just wanted to see Rhea win because I love watching her pin women. But
I wonder why.
Because it's hot, dude. Whatever, man. and then you and Shane, you called that one right though. You fucking nailed it.
And I mean, and it just seemed tailor made for the setup, and it's and I'm gonna give a shout out to and this is why I think I really like the 3-man commentary booth for the premium live events with Graves, McAfee and Cole, but especially Cole and Pat McAfee just for their commentary during this match. Like going back to right before the match ended when Rhea was going to whack Liv with the chair and Dom got up on the apron and took the chair away. And I think it was like Pat was like, "What are you doing?" And and all that. And then like I think Michael Cole was like, "No, he's actually doing a good thing." Or no, it was Cole was doing it, and I think McAfee was trying to tell him like he's saving Rhea from getting herself disqualified where she can't win the title and stuff, and it's kind of like they started developing. It's like, okay, maybe Dominic actually kind of has a heart. And then after the match ends, when Dom goes to pick up Liv and then they kiss, and then it was like then they just like literally tore into him, like you.
Oh yeah, you
miserable.
two-timing son of a
Yeah.
bitch. Oh my god, it was so good.
That commentary just
No, it's good.
That's-
I'm curious what goes on because we had the news that Michael Cole is going to SmackDown, right?
Yeah, and then the new guy they're bringing on, Joe Tessitore, was he got introduced at the beginning of the show, so I think that's still kind of going to be all up in the air. And you know what I mean?
I wonder where McAfee staying on Monday?
I think McAfee's going to go wherever Cole goes because you.
I
Can't
sure
split that
hope
duo
so.
up.
I sure hope so because goddamn, they're so good together. I mean, it really is, in my opinion, become the best two-man commentary team in the history of wrestling.
And
I can't say anything bad about him. Michael Cole is the best play-by-play guy of all time.
And everybody wanted to write him off a few years ago. The best thing to happen to Michael Cole's career was them putting Pat McAfee on with him.
Yeah, and I mean, and now that Vince isn't in his ear, like both those things make a huge difference. You can tell he's having a good time, and I mean, he is good at what he fucking does.
Right.
Like the man is prepared. The man knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for decades now. I mean, shit, like he called his first fucking pay-per-view at like 98 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, he's been around.
It's mid-90s.
He's really been probably, honestly, I think he's got to be at this point the longest tenured commentator WWE's ever had because he's been doing it longer than JR and the King who did.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who could come close. Yeah, I mean, considering how long they've been on TV, and the team was, I mean, Jerry Lawler might still be, only because he was just there forever and ever and ever.
And
but
Jerry Lawler and Vince McMahon were a very underrated duo.
Yeah. Well, Vince was underrated.
Yeah.
Vince was a great play-by-play guy. I mean, he was. I mean, one of my favorite matches is the fucking empty arena match.
Oh,
with
the
Rock
and Mankind,
and fucking McMahon calls it by himself.
Yeah.
And it's the last time he does play-by-play, really, and he fucking kills it. He does such a good job. And, I mean, yeah, he had some shit that was fucking overplayed. Oh, what a maneuver. But, like, at the same time, like, for the time, he was great. And nobody knew he was the boss.
Yeah. I remember being shocked when I found that out. So, great opening match and a great way to kind of kick off the show to really get the crowd going. We move on to Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker in a rematch from Money in the Bank, and obviously Braun winning the Intercontinental Championship. They had to put it on him at this point because if they would have had Sami go over again, they would have run the risk of kind of losing some of that momentum Braun has been building, and he got called up to the main roster shortly before WrestleMania, and I think they used him on SmackDown. But then I think the draft came, and then he got moved over to the Raw. And basically, since the draft, he has just the way they've used him is just.
And I hate to say it because I love Sami Zayn. I think he's incredible.
He is.
I don't think the belt did him any good, and I don't think he did the belt any good ultimately.
He's at a point where he doesn't. He's so over. He really doesn't need the title.
It didn't elevate either of them really. Like, it was
But it
good to
did
see.
hurt. Yeah.
It was a feel good win for him.
Mm.
I think there was no reason to have him face Braun Breaker two times in a row for the belt. I think
Right.
they should have just given him someone else in between. I don't know why they did it 2 PLEs in a row. It doesn't make sense to me. Braun Breaker shouldn't have lost the first time. He won the right. I mean, he won this time, but I don't fully understand that decision because I don't think it did Braun Breaker any good. And like, I mean, I guess it made Sami Zayn look like he can take an ass whooping and still kick out. But we've always known that about Sami. It's always been his shit, is that he can get the shit kicked out of him and still pin somebody.
Yeah. And I don't have as much of an issue with I don't have that much of an issue with it, because I mean I every once in a while I do like to be surprised. I mean, I think we all expected Braun to win at Money in the Bank, and I mean I was surprised that he didn't. But like I said, and I think when Shane and I were doing our predictions for this on last week's episode, I mentioned it's like they have to put the title on Braun, otherwise you run the risk of just like starting to kind of losing that that momentum and stuff. And I thought it was absolutely right. And then the video that was going around of Dad and Uncle being
that was
the
with DDP,
and stuff. And it's just seeing just and
obviously DDP, shout out to that guy,
one of the good guys in wrestling. But
oh my god,
kind of just we talk about how happy it was, so happy to see that the dad and uncle were Daddy Rick and Uncle Scott got to be there for that. And obviously Rick's drawing a lot of criticism from some of the comments he's made about certain things that we're not going to get into here and stuff. But I mean, anytime you see you could at that moment, I was watching a father and an uncle be proud of son and nephew.
Yeah, fuck what the haters say, man. What are you gonna do? Fuck what they say. That was a beautiful moment.
It was,
and I'm happy for all of those guys. It was the right thing to do, and the only reason not to fucking put the strap on that boy is because he did some really stupid shit behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's the only reason I can see to not just shoot him to the moon. So good for him.
Right.
That was the right outcome. We all got that one right.
We all did and stuff. And it's just, and one of the things I remember when I hung out with Scott Steiner a couple of years ago, at a Comic-Con, and just listening and talking to him about Braun, and just, I could tell he was so proud of that kid. I was like, that's an uncle talking about his nephew there, and just to just tell it's just proud of him. And the sky's the limit for Braun. Now, do you not be surprised if within the next couple of years that Braun's winning the Rumble and challenging someone for the title in the main event at WrestleMania?
No doubt. I don't even know if it'll take that long.
It may not and stuff. So, but it's gonna be sooner rather than later, because they are clearly committed to making him like a cornerstone of that company.
He's like a new Lesnar's type, man. He's that quick.
Yeah.
When Lesnar started, man, he was like that. He was that fast. I mean, he was bigger, but I don't know necessarily if he was stronger or not. But I mean, Lesnar's always been a fucking animal. But Braun's, he's a beast, dude.
He really is. So, okay, so we're gonna move on to next up. We're gonna move on to the United States title match with Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think this might have been Logan Paul's best match. I thought it was great.
Say what you want about the man. He puts in the work, man. I saw. Do you see him? Do you see him talking to Undertaker about that?
No, I didn't.
He did an interview with Taker, and he's talking about it, and he does that hop up springboard backflip. Off the rope.
That was beautiful.
And he said he's like, I practiced that for 6 months, man. And Taker's like, I've never seen anything like that, man. He's like, in my day, I couldn't even have begun to dream of imagining something like that.
Right.
And they had a little clip from it, and he's like, yeah, I had to have the referee go over, and he watched the clip, and the ref like puts both his arms over the rope and uses his armpits in his shirt to dry the ropes. off really subtly because he's like, yeah, man, with all the sweat and all the shit on the ropes, he's like, one little slip and I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fucking, I mean, that was picture perfect. I mean, the dude, like, say what you want, he puts in the effort and he puts on a great match. I mean, yes, he generally wrestles really good wrestlers, but since when in this business do you not want to protect each wrestler and showcase their good sides and fucking hide their weaknesses?
It takes two to tango.
And that's the thing, is like, that was what made Paul Heyman be able to book so well in ECW. And it's like, that's it. It's like, you need to put him with someone good. He's going to draw us fucking money. People will talk about it. Put him with the superstars. If he can hang, he can hang, and he can fucking hang, man. And like, so can, I mean, it's like Pat McAfee was another guy like that, where it was like, throw him in there and fucking, dude. I mean, Christ almighty, he did that shit off the fucking cage or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, this guy's got it.
I mean, and you're talking since we're throwing the Bad Bunny.
Another guy who shouldn't for any fucking reason be as good as he is. Like, that's the craziest one to me. Like, Pat McAfee and like Logan, like, they make sense because of like their backgrounds. Oh, like Bad Bunny, like that fucking dude is like very fun though. It's been, it's cool to see that kind of celebrity involvement that isn't like the
one-offs.
Oh God, the fucking the guest Raw general manager shtick they did for the couple years there, which was just the worst. Just the worst. I mean, God, some of the worst fucking segments of all time came because of the guest referee shit. Like the one with what the fuck is his name from fucking Entourage?
Jeremy Piven?
Yeah, one of the worst fucking things I've ever seen, dude. Summerfest. I mean, so many just dog shit fucking. Yeah. I mean, we even had a goddamn WrestleMania match with Snooki at one point. Yeah.
All right, let's
sorry
from that, because I'm starting to get sick to my stomach. But like, no, I thought it was a really good match. I mean, you also had the involvement of Machine Gun Kelly trying to help out.
Oh Jesus, yeah, I forgot about him.
With the brass knucks on the chain, and they came into play, but LA Knight persevered, and shout out to LA Knight for getting a new deal, man, and getting more money. And obviously, he's someone that's going to be around for a while. That they have.
He deserves it.
He absolutely does, because that's someone that's been doing this for a long time, and it's just taking him now to finally get his just desserts.
And he fucking worked his ass off, and he's been great. He's been so over. I mean, and consistently over. I mean, that man comes out and the fucking crowd blows up. He's got the swag. I mean, people compare him to The Rock, and rightfully so, because he's got that fucking swagger and that charisma and that aura to him. He does. He's got that fucking juice, dude. And let him squeeze it, man. Squeeze it for all it's worth. Let's go.
Let's go. So again, shout out to LA Knight, new United States champion.
We all got that one right too.
We all did. So we're gonna go on next to the one match that was not for a title, but probably had the best story going into the show, and that's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as the referee.
With the bracelet.
With the bracelet, and the big thing was, this was Punk's first televised match, since the Royal Rumble, and his first singles match since, I forgot what they said, it had to have been 2000 and basically 2014, I believe. So in 10 years. And I mean, he looked good and stuff. I mean,
it was a great match.
It was. And I mean, there's so much story onto it. I mean, the bracelet, and just, the involvement of Rollins, and, him taking it, go to sleep and everything. And it was the one thing that, did you notice in this match how all three of the competitors had, they paid tribute to the Brett versus Taker with HBK as the referee match from SummerSlam, because
Oh
He
yeah.
had, you know,
CM Punk had his HBK gear on.
oh, he had the Bret Hart gear on.
Sorry, the Bret Hart gear on.
Then Drew had the Taker inspired
the
gear,
jacket.
and then
Yeah.
Rollins had the HBK inspired gear on, and it's just
At least he wasn't wearing the shorts, as they said on commentary.
yeah. And stuff, but it was a great match and a great story, and it delivered everything. I mean, so much come out of it. You know, we're still going to get some mileage out of the CM Punk versus Drew based on what happened with Raw, because it looks like, you know, Rollins is going to be on the shelf for a little while as a result storyline what happened with Bronson Reed, you know, but it's reported that he's dealing with some injuries and he's taking some time off. But it was a really good match, and the one thing that I really liked about this match, and it was probably the most ironic thing, was that Punk's obsession with the bracelet cost him the match, and he was always getting on Drew about his obsessions with Punk, you know, costing Drew every time.
Oh yeah, no, they managed to turn it really well,
and that's what I really liked about
it.
that. That's what I really liked about it. It's just Punk was guilty of the same things he was, you know.
As soon as Rollins picked up that bracelet and put it on, I was like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Yeah,
this is it,
and stuff. So, but yeah, no, it was a great match. I mean, like I said, again, very complimentary of this event. You know, it's one of those ones that you actually probably should go back and, if you did, obviously, if you didn't watch it, you need to go back and watch it on Peacock. But even if you did watch it, go back and watch it again, because it was that damn good.
And good on Punk for going over, or I mean, for letting Drew go over clean. Like, I mean,
it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of people want to talk shit about Punk and be like, "Oh, he's selfish, this and that," but it's like I think this is the run that shows you who he is.
Yeah, and I mean, he's done it. He's done everything right so far, and, you know, good on him, because I mean, and stuff, you know, and to all the people, you know, those AEW stands that are going to be vehemently against Punk because he left them and stuff. I mean,
I watched AEW to watch Punk when he came back. Okay, I did. I watched a lot of Punk when he was in AEW because I like CM Punk, because I think he's that fucking good, and I've always thought he's that fucking good.
He's the only he's the only needle mover that company has ever had. Nobody else has been able to do what he did in terms of moving the needle.
No, I mean, the needle's just dropping, man. It's bad. I mean, it's sad, honestly. I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but CM Punk is using his star power the right way too. Drew is fucking hotter than ever.
Yep.
I mean, goddamn, dude, the guy is on fucking fire.
He posted a picture of himself with Jack Perry just for the sake of this angle. I think, and that was so much that they had him take it down.
Yeah.
And stuff. But
Crimea River. No, it was so good. I mean, and that's it. This is the best run Drew's ever had. And you know, good on CM Punk. I mean, Shane would hate us saying this because he fucking hates CM Punk, but he's great, dude. He's a legend. He's one of the GOATs, man. Really, one of the standout wrestlers of our generation.
Yeah,
up there with Brock Lesnar. You know, is just one of the best talents that you could imagine.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got a couple more matches here. We're gonna move on to our other women's title match, and this was the match that ultimately decided the night between Shane and I, because we agreed on everything else, and that was Bayley defending the WWE Women's Championship against Queen of the Ring Nia Jax. And you know what? I don't have an issue with. Yeah, you know, that's something I don't have as much of an issue with, because I think since she's come back, I think Nia has gotten better.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
And I think it fits her more. Like, I think it with this Queen of the Ring gimmick, I think this fits her more. We obviously had a tease with the you know, Tiffany Stratton can't possibly cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase, but she's gonna hold on to that briefcase for a little while before she strikes.
Yeah, we did have that tease, which was cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Nia. I'm a huge Bayley fan. Wasn't a fan of that.
You know, I like I said, it is what it is and stuff, you know, but it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this and stuff. And I mean, you know, kudos to Shane. He nailed this and got this one, and essentially he had a he had a perfect night on for SummerSlam with his picks and stuff.
He sure did. Shout out
and stuff. But we got 2 more matches here. With and this is ultimately, I guess you could say, rest in peace Judgment Day with this Damien versus Gunther match. I love the fact that Gunther's the champion. I think he's going to do. I would love to see him have a run. Maybe not. I don't know. I think he's going to have as long of a run with this belt as he did with the Intercontinental title. But I would love to see him have a run where he just does so much with that belt, like he does for this belt, what he did for the Intercontinental title. But obviously, the big story coming out of this was, Finn Balor screwing Damian Priest and and stuff.
A new Judgment Day.
Yeah,
versus the old Judgment Day.
Yeah, and I mean it was, and that was really cool how they did that with the backstage promo with Finn, and then they panned back the camera to reveal the new Judgment Day, where it's him, JD, Carlito, Dom, and Liv, and just that's going to be some interesting stuff to see where that goes. But I mean,
well, and they've been building it though. I mean, good props on them. They built this all up. Like the storytelling that they've been doing since Vince is gone has been immaculate. I mean, they've really done a good job at building this whole story from Chicky Nuggies to PS5s, all that shit.
Well, you can even throw in from SummerSlam last year when Finn wrestled Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damien coming down to teasing the cash in. Seth did the curb stomp on the Finn onto the briefcase, and so, I mean, you could basically go back to a year prior to when this all started and that, but it's just, and obviously I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I know Jovan got to meet Damian Priest SummerSlam weekend and got to see, I think, a screening of the new documentary about Damian Priest that's on Peacock, which now I think about it, I might watch after we're done recording, and this Brewers game is going on, which, by the way, they're in the bottom of the 8th already, and the game hasn't even been 2 hours long.
Jesus Christ.
And stuff. So that's why I love
the pitching.
It's a pitcher's duel for sure. But yeah, I love the pitch. I mean, and it was hard hitting, it was brutal, and which I think all of us expected it to be. And Damian Priest has really made a name for himself in the WWE, and I think if anybody's to say that he was a transitional champion or not a very good world champion, they're just kidding themselves, because Damian Priest had a great run with that title.
Yeah, and I will say this: while Sami Zayn, the belt, and him didn't do anything for each other, the opposite is very true of Damian Priest. This title run elevated him, and it made the belt better too. Honestly, he was a good champion. I didn't think it was going to work at first, but he won me over, man. He did a great job, and he really fit the part. And I think he's got a lot of good things going for him going forward. So hats off. Do we get a home run? What do we do? What happened?
With the solo home run to give the Brewers a lead, 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th.
There you go. There's the pitcher's duel.
Yeah. So I'm expecting a message from my nephew Adonis here very shortly. I'm surprised he hasn't actually sent it to me yet, that about the home run and stuff. But we definitely need. Goddamn, I love the Milwaukee Brewers. It's so much fun. I'm actually going to be up there. My nephew and I, actually my 2 nephews and I, are going to the game next Saturday.
Hell yeah!
And of course, as on cue, I got the alert. My nephew sent me a message. My nephew Adonis is my Brewer buddy. He's my baseball buddy. He's my guy, and I absolutely love him. And I love going to these games with him and stuff. But man, yeah. But yeah, I was, again, guys, if you haven't done so, based on what I've heard, go watch the documentary on Damian Priest. I hear there's like a really, like, at the end of the documentary, right before Priest goes to cash in, I think you saw in the trailer, he had a moment with Seth Rollins as Rollins was just coming back through the curtain and stuff. And it's just, man, it's such a great story and stuff. But speaking of great stories, we got one more match here to talk about. And that was the main event of the evening. That was Bloodline Rules, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. And obviously the big thing coming out of that was
Sorry, He
doesn't use that music anymore.
I know,
You're a little-
but it's the best still. Anytime I think Roman Reigns, that's what I think.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it was crazy the pop he got for that. But I mean, that was still a. I mean, I'll admit, you know, it was the Bloodline Rules match at WrestleMania was fun. I think this match was just as fun as well too because you saw, obviously, Kevin Owens return to try to help out against the Tongans.
It took a while to get going though.
It did, but once it got
there was a long while where it was like, why is this a Bloodline Rules match?
You knew it was all coming though.
But it was still like all right, let's get to the good shit because we knew something big was coming.
Yeah, and I mean we had a lot of it. I mean, you had, and again, Jacob Fatu just showing showing off like just that he really is a star. And the debate, going and coming out of that was just, is he injured now? Because there's reports saying that he's not.
Planned.
It was planned so to avoid the confrontation because they're holding off on, a face-to-face with him and Roman, and stuff. But Jacob Fatu is seriously is just destined for great things in the WWE as well too. But that match, Fruit. I mean, we saw the return of Kevin Owens, we saw the return of Orton, we saw the Tongans, and then obviously at the end we saw Roman Reigns show up and basically to come back and take back his place as the rightful head of the table. And I mean,
and I don't know if you saw him on SmackDown too, but that crowd, holy shit, the tribal chief chants for him,
OTC,
were crazy, dude. It was so loud.
I will tell you this. I enjoyed the OTC chants for Roman Reigns way more than those god-awful CEO chants for Mercedes Moné.
Oh, Jesus. Nobody's actually chanting that. They got to be piping that shit.
It's still, piped in or chanting or not. It's probably piped in, but piped in or chanting, it's still annoying as fuck.
What a fall from grace, man.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was for what it was. I mean, I guess you could call, for all this talk about Bloodline Rules being, the thing with the Samoans and the bloodline and stuff. Cody's the master of the Bloodline Rules match. I mean, he's 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bloodline has never won one. I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean,
only have the two.
Yeah, the entertaining. It was a very entertaining match for what it was, and obviously it was building up to the return of Roman Reigns and and everything, and it's just. Man, what a way to end that show and just send the crowd home, being excited and everything that Roman's back. And the one thing that I took from that that when he came out, Cody may be the WWE champion, and I love Cody. I'm a Cody guy. I'm a Cody crybaby, whatever you want to call and stuff. But when it comes to the WWE, SummerSlam proved that Roman Reigns is still the fucking man when it comes to that company.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, he's been I mean, John Cena level of carrying the company.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, no, Roman's been great, man.
Yeah.
He's been incredible.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, and to think that, the company's been as good as it has without, basically without Rhea Ripley or Roman Reigns for, the last fucking 6 months.
However long, I mean,
5
just
months,
it goes to show you how deep that and talented that roster is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't miss a beat. Somebody goes down, it's next man up.
And they're able to continue by really keeping those stories interesting. I mean, the fact that they kept that story about Liv and Rhea and Dom so hot, and now it's fucking blown up and they've turned more heel. I mean, it's incredible. They've done such a good job. I mean, hats off to them.
Yeah, and stuff. So yeah, so obviously we kind of started this thing with our, PLE predictions and stuff, and I've got an updated scoreboard here, so we're gonna pull it up here. We're gonna see after 2 events. Shane is in the lead right now at 11-3. I'm right on his tail at 10-4, and Isaac, you're bringing up the rear at
5-9, dude.
5-9.
I'm like the Chicago White Sox of fucking 5-star takes.
Oh no! Because I think the Sox would kill to have some kind of record that equates to 5-9 right now.
Yeah, right. Almost a 400.
Yeah, they're not even. Yeah, it's historically bad down in the south side of Chicago. But yeah, Shane ran the gauntlet, got everything right. I missed the only match I missed was the. He's also lucky too. Who knows?
He's a genius, man. That's my dude.
We love Shane here on
we love Shane.
5-star takes and
I'm not going to talk shit about him like he talked shit about me last week. I love him. I think he's a good person, and I want you all to help find him a great job.
Yeah, because a man can only take so much slinging out chili on spaghetti.
I know, man. There's only so much Skyline you can fucking do.
Right.
So shout out to our homie. We love you.
So we're just about done here, but we got one more thing we got to do, Isaac.
Yes, we do. Hit the music. I want to see this new shit. It's time for Pics or It Didn't Happen with Isaac. Hey, that's me. That's me.
What do you think? Do you like that?
Beautiful, man. Look at you.
Ah, man.
I wanted to do Sullivan, but you already showed that pic, so we already know that. So apparently last week Shane ruined our fucking.
It was like 6 weeks or something.
6 weeks in a row I had it going, and Shane went and fucked it up. Well, I'm gonna try and restore balance to the universe with Johnny Moxley or even Dean Ambrose, whichever one you prefer.
All right, so Jon Moxley, is that the one you want to go with?
Let's go with Mox, yeah. Dude, he's AEW'd out. Did you ever meet him as fucking Dean Ambrose?
No, but
Gotcha.
But I'm not done yet.
All right, twofer. All right.
Yeah, you got a twofer there. Yeah, the first picture was from AEW Fan Fest back in 2022.
Nice.
And then the second picture was from the night before the New Japan show that I went to earlier this year. I happened to be in the lobby. I think I was talking with a friend of mine. This was after they did the new meet and greet with like a few of the New Japan stars, and they had the press conference for the Chicago show. And I happened to just be in the lobby. I was talking to a friend of mine just as Mox was actually walking into the lobby and walking out. I think he was getting ready to probably go get some food or something. You know, I just like, hey, can I get a picture with selfie with you? And he was more than gracious. Accommodating and stuff. So
nice, dude. That's what's up. Well, there we go. We're starting the streak over.
Yeah, we're like we just had that one loss streak. See, we've had a better streak going than the Chicago White Sox.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude. This one I'm doing all right at.
This one you're doing all right. This ain't no 21 in a row or whatever. So
no.
But alrighty then. Well, hey guys, thanks so much for watching. And everything. Obviously, again, if you can check out all our past our shows on.
Yeah, check out the Tony Deppen show, man. Great interview with Deppen, and obviously the Mulletman episode. Our fucking dude and yours, the greatest champion the world's ever seen. Current ETWA champion, our champion, and yours.
Check out the boys at Shootin Sh as well. And the Milwaukee Brewers just won the game 1-0, and
there you go
with the save. So
that's a quick one.
Yeah, it's barely 2 hours.
That's crazy.
Like the game started, I think, with at 6:10 my time, and it's 8:15 at my time and stuff. So yeah, this is a 1-0 game. But yeah, it was a pitcher's duel.
Those are good ones, man. Those are good ones.
I got to
well, there you go, man.
Yep.
What a great way to end the show with a win. Yep. Win for everybody. Shane, we love you, baby. We'll see you next time.
And we'll see all of you next time right here on 5-Star Takes.
We love you.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Now that once this is all done, I got a stuffed crust cheese pizza stuffed crust calling my name that I'm gonna go throw on the oven.
That's right. You were talking about that stuffed crust. That's where we started. Come like a pizza, full circle.
I'm gonna spin that pizza right round, baby, like a record, baby, right round, round.
It's like that. What's that song? The Blue song, Blue. I would beat off a guy. I would beat off a guy. You know that one? No.
No, I don't necessarily think those are the lyrics.
Sorry, bro. Legends of the Ring Sting, man. This is a great figure, old school figure. Looks great. It's Sting! Old school Sting from WCW. Guys, you know us, 3/4 of the Shootin' Shit team. And we're here with a listener just like you guys. This is Jimmy from Super Powers Comics.
My friend of almost 20 years. He's known him since you were 12.
If you know people in Chicago, you probably know Dennis because he knows half the town, of course. But shooters, if you need action figures, comics, wrestling memorabilia, we just showed you Sting. Superpowers Comics will put up their QR code so you can get a good look at everything they have coming. Give it a shot, shooters. Get your superpowers on and get your comics from our friend Jimmy, who listens just like you.
Attention wrestling fans and fans of Shootin' Shit podcasts. You can now be one of the cool kids by going to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy the official Shootin' Shit t-shirt. Buy it now and be there at ringside.
This episode and all episodes of 5 Star Takes are now available on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@5StarTakes. Be sure to like and subscribe. Get all of your 5 Star Takes news and updates by going to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SHOOTINSHT. And as always, thanks for watching.